Hello everyone, it's Questquenchers here today, and I want to talk about Dragon's Dogma 2 and a quite cool experience I had with it recently. Basically, I used some mods and it bricked my save. I cannot load it in, I can't edit it or anything, and I've basically lost that entire save now, unless someone updates their mod. But it's pretty much gone, unfortunately. So I thought, you know what? It's been a very long time since I've been through on that save the Unmerled World, all that stuff about 7 times. And each after each one, I just don't go into caves, I don't explore. I pretty much covered everything. So I decided to, hey, let's start a brand new game. So I did all that, made my character, and went through it. And I gotta say, the level of exploration in this game is really fun. You're finding things all the time, and you're getting chests, you're finding new equipment you forgot about because you hadn't collected it before, and you're discovering new things and finding some new little quests that you didn't anticipate, as well as I think there's been some changes in the recent patches, and enemy placement is slightly different. There seems to be more big guys now, but it's really cool. Like it really made the game fresh, and because I was going through, oh yeah, go through main quests, all that, collect this, collect that, follow some guide. But this time I decided to just go out on my own, like I did on the first gate, first time playing it, and just explore and find things. And it's honestly been such a joy. It definitely encompasses the exploration feel and some of the not scariness, but like the risk reward kind of factor when it comes to exploring caves. And if you don't fully prepare, you will get like utterly ambushed and destroyed. Especially if you're like a low ranking archer or something like that. It did not go well at all for me when exploring a few caves. Got to the end of it. Hey, collected some nice equipment. Then I ran back, and then I got ambushed by some goblins, and me and my pawn did not stand a chance. And that kind of thing was kind of cool, which led me to be like, oh, I've got to come back here later on, I think, because these goblins will not let me be. And I thought that kind of gameplay and stuff was quite fun, actually, like fleeing. I haven't done that in a while. I usually just one shot everything with like my swords and having the Wayfarer. It becomes very easy quickly with the Wayfarer, with the Warfarer. Sorry. Um, and it's honestly, it's so fun going back through this game, collecting everything again, doing tasks and stuff you haven't done in a little while, and things you've ignored, discovering new things. Like I discovered the cave recently where it had like this weird lava anvil kind of thing, this smithing thing, and I was like, "What the heck is this?" And and I found a really cool mace weapon, like a fiery mace, and a two-handed fiery mace. I was like, "What is this? This is great!" And I just haven't seen that before. And honestly, that kind of like discovery after going through it 6 or 7 times, and then starting a completely new one with no gear or anything. It's such a refreshing kind of thing. And there's been a few more caves I forgot about, and tombs I haven't been, in a long time. So it's quite refreshing and quite fun. And it's something I really like about Dragon's Dogma. Of course, it needs new enemy variety. It needs like a few different undead creatures. It needs a few like different goblin creatures or something like that. And it needs a few more bosses, like maybe introducing the Hydra again and stuff like that. And it's just like it's so much fun, and I really enjoy playing this game. I do wish there was more, but um, going back through what we have, totally brand new with all the risk factors and the the inexperience because you're very like young in a vocation and you don't have many your attributes, your augments. Sorry, don't have any of them sort of equipped and stuff like that. It's very thrilling and it gives you that essence of exploration again, which has been lacking from Not gonna lie, a lot of games. I was hoping Starfield would have the exploration kind of thing I've been hoping for, but it didn't. But Dragon's Dogma really kind of got me because I'm like, oh, is there? No, I'm following every corner and stuff, trying to find a new cave. And when I do, I'm like, yes, see, I knew the map here looked like it needed a cave or something, and exactly where I thought it would be. So I run into it, and it's honestly like it brings like a joy, a new kind of like, yes, my exploration paid off. Whereas like with other games like Starfield that are like, they were made to be like exploration games, but because they're like randomly generated and stuff like that, it doesn't particularly work. Um, so it's like, yeah, this is great. This Dragon's Dogma gives me what I need, and honestly, I really want them to release something soon. Maybe um, like cave, or not cave. I want more like what do you call them? Areas to explore, like just tunnels and stuff, and mines and different labyrinths that lead to underground lairs, that lead to bosses, that lead somewhere. You know, a bit like Dark Arisen. How they had like each sort of section had different bad guys and crazy bad guys, and you're like, what is going on? And some of these labyrinths that go on and on and on, and it's so interesting. It's so fantastic. It's the stuff like every gamer wants. So if they can introduce those aspects of Dark Arisen to the overworld, that'll be fantastic. Like utterly fantastic. And I really hope they can. I believe they can because it takes a lot of talent to make something like this, to be honest. And I believe they have delivered really well. Um, when it comes to the base game, like it's so big. There's a lot to see. There's a lot of feels like there's a lot of weapons and armor for like a starter, potential kind of thing. And it does deliver. It really does. I feel like it does. Playing it again, it's probably those rose tinted glasses, but I've been through it 6 or 7 times, but then I'm going through it on a fresh character. It feels fresh again, which is quite surprising. Usually, like, with these kind of games, I'm kind of like, "Oh, I've been there, done that." But since I've been through it quite a few times and I'm not prioritized sort of getting those items again from the caves and all that stuff, your brain kind of forgets about those, caves and stuff like that. So it's very nice just being able to go back through and you're like, wait a minute, this feels new. But you have been there before because I'm pretty sure I have explored every cave in Dragon's Dogma. But because I'm going through it again, it feels very fresh and new. And that's something that not many games can deliver for me for some reason. So, but Dragon's Dogma does because of I think it might be the vocations. Heading through caves with like an archer build is very tense because it's close quarters. So you're like, oh, I gotta, and sometimes you just get utterly battered. And if it's just you and your main pawn, you're not getting that far, unless you really stack up on those health potions and have a fighter pawn. Luckily, I did. I changed it so my pawn managed to take out a few of those rock, what do you call them? Rock lizard things. But still, it's very fresh and it feels new again for some reason. Which it takes a lot to do something like that, I think. And this is only in Vermont area and sort of close to the Sacred Arbor and stuff like that I've been exploring really right now. I did mention the cave back in Patel with the mason thing, but that was on my sort of previous save, I think, before I lost it. But I think it's probably one of the best things that happened really to appreciate the game a little again. Going through and exploring, collecting armor and weapons and stuff like that, and it's been quite a treat. It's been very fun because of that little hiccup, but I feel like it's sort of like the kind of aim of the game, the cycle of death and rebirth with the worlds and the arisen and the dragon is quite fitted really. So I'm like, oh yeah, so what? I start again from the beginning with nothing. Um, but it really does it well. It really I sing its praises all the time. It's really good. I really enjoy this game. Of course, there are flaws with it, especially the story. I feel like there's not enough cutscenes, there's not enough dialogue, there's not enough character development, not enough sort of, proper, kind of, oh, what do you call it? Like, you need to become the sovereign. We're gathering this team behind you, and we're gonna make it. You are the sovereign, kind of thing. I'd like that more than what we got. I'd like to actually command this place called Vermont, um, and Vernsworth and stuff like that. I think that would be really, really cool. And make some really good choices and bad choices and different endings. It's what it should have been, I feel. But I feel like it needed more time, or it got kind of rushed with the story. And I feel like they focused on like really good CGI and stuff like that. I mean, a lot of CGI, like cutscenes. But yeah, it's it still needs work when it comes to the main quest. Maybe they'll add a bit to it, or they'll change it up, or I don't think they will, because game companies are like that now. They don't. They're like, oh, we're done what we're done. That's it. And they may add like a DLC that doesn't touch anything, adds weapons and armor and stuff, and that'll be about it. Because it is a thing with gaming. We expect like a lot more from them, but they're not willing to give a lot more or anything. So it's just how it is in the gaming market. And so you got to pick and choose your games carefully. And but I do feel like Dragon's Dogma does a really good job of delivering, good stuff. Of course, there's the frame rate issues and stuff because I'm not using what do you call it, DLSS or anything like that, because it does some weird stuff to the grass and the shadows, and I'm sick and tired of seeing it. Luckily, I have a decent rig, so I can run it like 60 FPS, and sometimes it drops to like 40 kind of thing. But that's just the game, unfortunately, and the engine. But when it comes to the combat and the discovery and exploration, it really like evens it out. Like makes it like this is still fun, and as long as we don't go near the cities, we're fine. And I know a lot of the stories do take place in the city, but a lot of the fun stuff takes place outside of the city, like the fighting monsters and all that stuff, and the questing to go here, there, and everywhere. It really takes place outside of the city, so I can sort of give it that really, that it's not too bad when it comes to that aspect. I do hope they do fix some like stuttering and weird like low FPS in certain areas for no apparent reason. I can't discern why. Looks like this place between Hearth and Vernsworth that just tanks FPS, but you're like, wait, what's going on? And then as soon as you leave that area, it's back to normal. Then if you turn and look in that area, it goes back bad. So I'm not too sure what that's about. Either way, this has been like a video about praise and stuff like that. Because it is fun. It's really good. I do want to slightly, criticize the Twitter, because it's just pushing the free 2 hour kind of thing, and I know it's like it's media and marketing and stuff, but it's a little bit annoying. Give something more substantial, or run some photography competition. I think they already did that. Do another one. Um, but still, it's really tough marketing this kind of thing, after the fact that it's came out and stuff. Everyone's kind of like seen it, and I heard that like Capcom released a video about like ways to play and stuff, and it got heavily trolled, um, which it would because it came after the fact, like months and months after the fact, and everyone knows these kind of details, and it's only just releasing that. It's a bit slow on the thing, isn't it? I think it really should be like trying to. It seems like they are gathering feedback for DLC, and I've gave him a ton of feedback of what things I want and made videos of things I want. So if they're not doing that kind of like research, like, oh, shall we just YouTube it and kind of thing, they have a really good base here, and they can build really well upon it. Like if they could get, story DLCs, expansions to like maybe like an expansion in the underground cave system or something, that it leads to labyrinths and tombs and castles underground, different, maybe like the lands between, different biomes and stuff, or like take you far to the mountains, or you can now have a sailing mechanic, and you can once maybe they do after the yeah, I'm going into the DLC again that I want. I mainly just want to post Dragon's Dogma 2 DLC where you can, there's a whole bunch of quests again. You can explore a bigger world. You can go and you can swim and all that stuff, and you can go where and find some lands, and because they kind of emphasize that with the fishermen, not fishermen, but like the dragon forged bloke in Half Village. And if they can do something like that, like after the fact that you can swim, you can sail and stuff like that, that would be freaking amazing. But I don't. I think that's something for like Dragon's Dogma 3. Um, who knows? So yeah, that video, this video is all a bit of a not a rant, but like a bit everywhere. But I just wanted to talk about the experience that I had recently with Dragon's Dogma, and it's been fantastic. I really enjoyed it, and I can't wait to get back to it. That's probably it's been really helping me recently, and that's probably why I'm really liking it, because it's making me that exploration. It's really immersing me, and I'm having a lot of fun, especially like with some additional mods and stuff like that. So yeah, that's all from me. Please like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.